Hey guys, and welcome to my video series on my 4x6 December daily album. And I am super excited to get started this year. This little album is just the cutest. So along with my 10x8 regular album, I am going to be doing just several random stories in this little 4x6 album. And the stories that I'm going to be sharing with you will be just random ones based upon when I feel like telling a story. No rhyme, no reason, just pure fun. This particular video is a prep page, so you are going to see that I am actually adding some photos from previous years and just adding some journaling from previous stories just to show you what it's going to look like. And then, of course, when I get to December, I am going to just modify these by adding in some updated photos and some updated journaling. Alrighty, so I'm thrilled to have you here with me on my little journey, and I hope you find some inspiration. One thing that I do want to tell you is that I have found a ton of inspiration from card making videos. I had to do an assignment for Simple Scrapper, and it had me looking for a video technique that I wanted to use in a scrapbook page. And it just took me on this journey of just watching videos and getting inspiration from tons of card makers, and then figuring out how I could modify things to add their techniques into my albums. So this is one of those where you're going to see that this technique is one of the many that can be done on a card. So if you are a card maker, you may get some ideas for that too as well. Alrighty, let's get started with this adorable little page in my 4x6 album. Alrighty, so let's get started with the pieces that I'm working with today. The first thing that I want to point out is that I have this little piece here that is the top part. It has a flip up on it that is going to reveal a photo underneath. I have some journaling on sticker paper, and then I have this piece which is 2 5/8 inches wide by 6 inches long. And you want to do this piece on a thicker piece of cardstock or cover stock because it's going to need to do some pulling action. And here is the photo, and I printed this out in a way that I'd be able to kind of put the frame over the top of it and eyeball it. And those black lines I just put there for a guide for myself, but they are going to be covered by this piece of memories paper. So the first thing you want to do is lay the paper with the flap on top of your photo, and you want to just pull up the flap to see that the photo is centered correctly, nicely on both sides. Now my photo is maybe about 1/4 of an inch around, a little bit smaller than the opening. I wanted that on purpose so it had a little white border. Okay, so once you get that in place, you want to cut the photo paper underneath to the exact same size as the outside dimensions of the frame. So I'm just going to leave that paper on top there and hold it in place as I trim the photo paper to the size of the patterned paper. And then once I'm done doing that, what I will need to do is then take this little piece of paper, like I said, 2 5/8 by 6 inches, and I want to score it at the bottom at 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to measure the exact middle of the flap. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark there, and then I'm going to score exactly in the middle of the flap only. And I'm going to bend that because this piece is going to be the interactive part. It's going to be movable, so it will need to have a nice, good score on it. I'll do the same thing to that 1/4 inch at the bottom of that, and I will slide that underneath, and I will pull that 1/4 inch flap over to the front. And I'm going to use some score tape to attach that so it holds it very well. Now, I'm not going to see this little white flap sticking up because I'm going to embellish it with some trees on top. So if you aren't going to be putting something on top, you're going to want to perhaps put a piece of patterned paper on top of the flap to cover that white part. And there you see how it is designed to work. So then you only want to adhere the bottom and the sides. You do not want to adhere the top because that 6-inch piece is going to pull up and open the flap. So once I have them adhered, I'll show you what that's going to look like. There you go. Do you see? Fun, super, super fun. I did something similar to this last year, but I put it together a little bit differently and it was a little bit more difficult. So once you get done, you want to take 1/4 of an inch off the top of that 6-inch piece and then cut that so that only half of that 1/4 inch is sticking up. Do you see? It's like a little tab there. Just want to have it so that you can add a tab to that without it interfering with the movement. Now I'm just cutting my journaling. This is again on sticker paper, and I'm just going to adhere that to that flap. And just again, eyeballing it the best that I can. It's sticker paper, so generally it's super thin, so it won't get in the way. But I just want to make sure I do it as straight as I can. So I'll take the backing off of that, and then I will go ahead and put that on that 6-inch piece. Again, you can do this in any color. If you want to be more festive, that's fine as well. You just don't want it to be thick because you don't want it to, again, this is a moving piece. That's going to have to slide in and out. If you put some thickness on there, it won't slide in and out. All right, so let's punch my holes in here. I have a little template that I made so that I can just automatically add my 2 holes that go along with the 4x6 album. I pull out 2 of the vellum pieces from the December daily release and 1 piece that I printed from the prep day. And then also some of these little, what are they called? Enamel dots. Okay, so adding some adhesive to where that white flap is turned up. And again, you don't want to go past the scored part on the flap. You don't want to adhere anything past the scored part on the flap because it is designed to stand up. And if those pieces are glued down, they will not stand up. And I love the pop of red with this fun tree from Prep Day as well. I just think these 2 different trees together is just super fun. And then these little enamel dots, I just want to add a little bit of color to the vellum. This is gold foil on this. These are the original pieces. It's not anything digital that I printed out, so it does have the gold foil on it. And I'm choosing some of the tiniest enamel dots, and I'm just going to put a few of the tiny ones on each tree. I think I put 3 on the first tree, and I think I might put 2 or 3 on the second tree. But I'm just kind of putting them over the gold, right? Just a little bit of red. I think that is fun. And then I'm going to get out one of the tabs, and I believe these are also from this year's release. I kind of mixed things together already, but I'm pretty sure they're from this year. So I'm going to use that tab on the little tab that I cut out. I did get some adhesive on the edge of the tree that was hanging over the flap, and it wouldn't open, so I had to remove that. But now I'm adding that at the top on that pre-cut tab that I made, and it's just going to cover that tab up, and I'm going to use the tiny attacher to put that in there. So there you go. That's how easy it is. I love this. Like I said, I did this last year, but in a little bit of a more difficult fashion. Now I'm just kind of seeing what else I could add. I pull out these set of the stamps from this year, and these are the holiday icons, I think. And I pulled out a little, kind of like a star. It's a fun little funky star. And I just pulled out a few different inks to see on what was left over from my patterned paper, I want to put some stars. What color stars do I want to put? So I think I experiment here with Pendleton, Mackenzie. I'm not sure if I used the Olympia or not. And then, of course, the Honeyman. And I think I ended up liking the Honeyman the best. I think it kind of made a more authentic feel for me. And with the red dots already on the tree and the red tree in the middle, I just felt like yellow would be a better choice at this point. So I'm just going to randomly put a few of these yellow stars amongst the words and the memories. And then I go ahead and I pull out, I think about putting a star on the middle tree. So I pull out some things from last year, and I'm kind of debating whether I want to use this large felt star. If I want to use a gold star, I pull out another felt star. I think there's a gold star and a wooden star. And at this point, I really could not make up my mind. So I decided to continue on adding some stars hanging off the edge of the page, moving things around, and just kind of finishing and adding the finishing touches here. So I think I end up the video without choosing an actual star for the top, but I think I ended up choosing the felt star. Even though it was pretty large, I just liked the way it looked. So here you'll see I'm just putting down a piece of paper and I'm just, again, randomly adding some additional yellow stars around the photo and around the edges of the page. Sometimes I need to say when is enough, right? And the last thing I'm going to do here is a chipboard phrase at the bottom. So that just lines up with the photo. And I think it looks really, really cute. And I totally love how this page turned out. Let's take a look and see how it looks in my album once I do decide on the star. So there you have it. I chose the felt star, even though it was pretty big. I don't know. I like the look of it. I think it looks adorable. I like the fact that it's actually huge compared to the tree. And it just gives me like a cartoony look that I'm very happy with. So this is how it looks when someone opens up the album. And then if they were to go and pull on that sticker tab that I placed in the upper right-hand corner, they would go ahead and be able to reveal the photo underneath that I'm going to show you right here. There you have the photo. And the trees are going to stand straight up. And so I love it. I think it's fun. And I'm actually thinking on doing something similar in my 10x8 album, perhaps with 3 photos across the page instead of just one little photo. I don't know. But stay tuned because I am sure as we move through December, I will be modifying a lot of these ideas to fit into my 10x8 album. Alrighty, guys, thanks so much for following along with me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys really soon.